Greeting to all the participants present here. On behalf of Quvae Research and Publications, I would like to welcome you all for the webinar on Navigating Research Trends Through Systematic Literature Reviews. To start with, let me give you the brief introduction about Quvae. Quvae serves as a platform to publish research articles in prominent journals and conferences proceedings. We assist authors in publishing their research findings in high impact factor journals, promoting their works, enhancing their reputations, and building a strong scientific profiles. Among several indexing databases, Scopus is one of the most preferred for publishing articles. The wide recognitions and impact of these journals makes them highly valued in their academic careers. We have recently collaborated with the Scopus Quvae journal FN1000 research published by Taylor and Francis. The authors can now easily submit their articles through our patent gateway with FN1000. FN1000 Research is an open research publishing platform for scientists, scholars, and clinicians that offers rapid publications of articles and other research outputs without editorial bias. All articles benefits from transparent peer review and editorial guidance on making all source data openly available. She is an associate professor at the Information Security and Assurance program in Universiti Sains, Islam, Malaysia. She served She received her PhD in computer science from University Technical Malacca, Malaysia, UTEM. Currently, she serves as the Deputy Dean Research and Innovation in Faculty of Science and Technology in USIM. She won many innovation competitions with 10 medals, 5 gold, 3 silver, and 2 bronze, and published numerous articles in top-tier journals. She also have been appointed as external examiner for postgraduate Viva as well as journal reviewers for Scopus and WOS. She has a passion for cryptography, wireless security, and information security. She has been invited to serve as the invited speaker for a conference, research workshop, and editorial board member of OIC COT Journal. I would like to welcome you, Doctor.
Hello, hi everyone. Should I open my video now? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, can I start now?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. Okay, can you see my slide right now?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, I'm sorry. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I think I have to stop the video so that I can have a fully okay. I can have a full screen on my screen without the video. Okay. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Thank you for joining me today. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor.
Okay. So
Yes,
I will introduce myself again. Okay. My name is AZNI HASLIZAN Namdo HALIM. I am from Faculty of Science and Technology, Universiti Sains Islam Malaysia. So this is my email address, ahAZNI@usim.edu.my. Just in case if you have any question after the webinar, so you can email me, and also you can scan for my LinkedIn page to add me for your list of followers. Okay, wait. I think I have problem navigating my slide. Oops. Okay. So before we start, I want to take a moment to share a bit about myself. So I am a professor. I am an associate professor at the Universiti Sains Islam Malaysia under Information Security and Assurance Program. And I hold a PhD in computer science and have been deeply involved in the area of computer security and cryptography research for more than 15 years already. So throughout my career, I have the privilege of becoming the Deputy Dean at the Center for Graduate Studies. And also currently, I am the Deputy Dean under Research and Innovation at the Faculty of Science and Technology, USIM as well. Okay, so I have 5 copyrights right now and won many innovation competition with 10 medals, 5 golds, 3 silvers, and 2 bronze. Also have been invited to serve as the invited speaker for conferences and research workshop. And also I've been I have been appointed as an editorial board for IC Cert Journal since 2017. Okay, so I would like to share the journals that I am incredibly proud to be part of. Okay, so these are the journals with a systematic literature review topic that was published in Web of Science and Scopus. So the first one, systematic literature review, trend analysis on the design of lightweight road cipher, digital audio. The second one, digital audio steganography, systematic review, classification, and analysis of the current state of the art. So these two are the Q1 journals, and this one, the third one here is systematic literature review on the lightweight authentication algorithm in the IoT. So this is Q3 Scopus. So feel free to scan the QR code to download or access the paper for you to refer if you would like to refer the systematic literature review, or you can also cite if it's relevant to you. Okay. Okay, so what you will learn from this webinar, first, a comprehensive understanding of the methodology and also the steps involved in conducting a systematic literature review. Okay, also to enhance participant research skill with an effective strategies for searching and retrieving scholarly articles, especially in the systematic literature review. Also to educate empower and equip the participant with necessary skills to conduct the impactful systematic literature review. So the outline of my talk today. So first part, we will look at what is literature review, why we are doing literature review, also the type of literature review. Then after that, we will focus on our topic today, systematic literature review, the purpose of systematic literature review, why we are doing it, and the process how you are going to conduct the systematic literature review. Okay. So what is a literature review? I'm sure everybody heard of this or do this before, right? So in short, we call it LR. Okay. So LR, I'm going to use LR alternately with literature review from now on. It is a fundamental component of a scholarly research, and it plays a crucial role in the research process. Okay. So at its core, LR is a critical and in-depth evaluation of previous research. So it's set as a compass for your own research journey so that you are not losing yourself in the maze. Okay, like this picture here, so you don't know where to go. So we need a literature review to guide you to find the gap in the your research. Yeah. So literature review also can be taught as a summary or a synopsis of a particular research area, allowing anybody to read the paper to establish the reason for pursuing a particular research. Okay, so it allows anyone to ask a specific research question or a topic of your research. Okay, as code by Education Resource Information Center, 1982, it also says LR is an information analysis and synthesis focusing on finding and not simply bibliographic citation, summarizing the substance of literature and drawing conclusion from it. Okay, so importantly, a good literature review doesn't just list previous study. So it evaluates the quality and finding from the study. Okay, it search through the research landscape and then analyzing and synthesizing information to provide a comprehensive understanding of the state of knowledge in your field or in a particular field. Okay. So that is basically what is LR and why we are actually doing LR. So why we should invest our time and effort in conducting the LR. Yeah. So one primary reason why we are conducting LR is to first to establish connection, okay, or relationship between existing knowledge and the problem to be solved. So in other words, it helps us to bridge the gap between what is already known and what we aim to discover, right? So another significant purpose is to refine the problems that we already have or already known by thoroughly reviewing existing literature. And then after that, we gain insight into the nuances and complexity of the issues. So this process often lead to a more clearer and more focused research problems. So literature review also allow us to identify the significance of our research. Okay, so it help us understand where our work fits within the larger context of the field of research. Okay. Whether your research is a groundbreaking discovery or a refinement of existing idea, or maybe a response to a pressing need. So we will find this answer through the review. Okay. So furthermore, a well-conducted literature review will aid in defining a research question. Okay, so it helps us to pinpoint the gaps in existing knowledge and also the unanswered question and the areas where we need to further explore the research. Okay, so this gap become the basis of your research inquiries in the LR. So basically, this answer why we invest our time and effort in conducting literature review, because the keyword is it will identify gaps in existing research and also highlight the key trends and set the stage for your own research by contextualizing between your research, your body of knowledge in your research. Okay. Okay. So first, now you understand that why literature review are essential. So let's explore the various type of literature review that researchers use commonly. Okay. So each type of this LR serve a distinct purpose and approach in synthesizing the existing knowledge. So the first one is the traditional review or narrative, in other words. This type of review provides a comprehensive and narrative summary of existing literature on a specific topic. This one is like telling a story of the research in the field. So we always see this type of LR. Normally we write this kind of LR in the thesis. Okay, so it doesn't have a structured format, but it is more like how you tell a reader the previous research based on your understanding. Okay. Second is a systematic literature review or a systematic review. In short, we call it a systematic review as well. So this approach involves a rigorous and systematic search of the literature, followed by structured synthesis of finding. Okay, so it aims to minimize the bias and provide objective overview of the available evidence. So this is an evidence-based literature. This is our focus for this webinar today. Okay. Next, systematic mapping study, or other words, coping study. This type of review is a broader in scope, which focusing on identifying the key concept or type of evidence and gaps in the research landscape. Okay, it helps the researcher to chart the terrain of a particular field of research. Next is meta-analysis. Okay, this one involves statistical technique to combine and analyze data from multiple study. So it provides a quantitative synthesis of research finding, which enable researcher to draw more robust conclusion. Sometimes systematic literature review and meta-analysis, it can be combined together to get the better result. And the last one, we have the tertiary study, which is less common but equally valuable. This type involves reviewing existing review. Okay, so it's review in higher level synthesis that can help the researchers gain insight into the consensus, discrepancies, or emerging trends in your research field. So when choosing the right type of literature review for your research, please consider your objective. Okay, what are you looking for actually? Are you looking for a broad overview? You are looking for quantitative insight or a deep narrative understanding? Okay, so this choice of review will guide you what type of research goal you are looking for. Okay, so like I said just now, and the title says so, we are going to dive more on the systematic literature review. Okay, so we will explore what it is, why it is essential, and how we conducted the systematic literature review. Okay, so first, the definition of systematic literature review. Systematic literature review, other than systematic review, in short, we also call it SLR. So I also will use SLR in my my presentation, alternatively lah. So the definition of SLR is a rigorous, structured method to identify, evaluate, and synthesize existing research on a specific topic. Okay, so this is like detective work. Okay, like in the research world, it's like you doing a rigorous work, aiming to provide a very comprehensive and unbiased view of the current state of knowledge. Okay. So another definition by Kitchenham et al. 2007, he said that this is a form of a secondary study. Okay, meaning that it doesn't involve primary research, but rather relies on existing study. So it has to follow a well-defined methodology. Okay, so Kitchenham also has its own methodology to guide you with the SLR. Okay, so SLR can be achieved through a series of critical steps in their methodology. First, must be methodologically extract literature review from various sources. okay, including databases, journal, and conference proceedings. So this step will ensure that no valuable research is overlooked. Okay. Second, carefully selecting relevant literature. Um, when selecting literature, it must be based on predetermined inclusion and exclusion criteria. So this to ensure that only studies that is relevant to research questions are involved in the review. Okay. Third, must be extensively review the selected literature. So each chosen study is evaluated for the quality, relevance, and the contribution to the topic. This thorough assessment form the basis for reviewers' conclusion later on. Okay. So why SLR is so important? So this is because it provides a valuable foundation for decision making, policy development, and also further research. Okay? And SLR offer a reliable and it is an evidence-based perspective on the current state of knowledge in your research field. Okay, so before you start the SLR, you have to know the purpose of why you're doing SLR. So it can have a few purpose. So the first one is that addressing the varied methodology. Okay, so some studies or some articles or literatures you may face or you may find a different methodology or varied methodology. So so some researchers use different methodology to explore similar topic. So through SLR, it will allow you to bring together this finding from their perspective method and determine the shared finding. Okay, and also after a review methodology or review literature, you may find contradictory findings. Okay, so sometimes the study with the same topic can yield to conflict result. So systematic literature review can be stepped in to examine these contradictory findings from the multiple studies. So in addition, systematic review also help us to tackle issue the lack of unified best practices across the study. Okay, maybe each researcher have their own set of methods or practices. And this SLR become an instrument tool to determine the best practices across the study. And after that, you can identify the common threads between the study. Okay, the last one, the systematic review also can address the non-existent synthesized studies that is focused on similar topic. So these reviews will contribute to the development of theory or model that represent a collective finding from the various study. And this also will help provide a holistic view and helping us to see the bigger picture of the research. Okay, so now we move on to the heart of this webinar today, the process of systematic literature review. Okay. So the process of SLR, okay, systematic review process, divided into a few phases. Okay, planning phase, conducting phase, and reporting phase. Okay, so it begins with planning. So you have to plan, and this is where it lays the foundation of your SLR. Okay, at the planning phase, you need to first formulate the research question. Okay, so this is the compass that guide you to review and helping you to define the scope and the purpose of your study. Okay, so this is a very important step that you cannot miss during the SLR process. Then you have to develop review protocols. So this is like creating a roadmap for your review. So you have to detail the methods that you use. What are the criteria? For example, like inclusion and and exclusion, and also the search strategy involved while doing the review process. Okay. Then come conducting phase. So this is the heart of the SLR process. Okay. Where the real works begin in this phase. First, you start with searching the relevant literature. So this involves systematically searching various database, journals, and other sources to find study that match with your research question just now. Okay. After you have searched, then and gathered the literature or articles, so you need to select the relevant literature. So this can be done based on your predefined criteria, assuming that only studies that align with your research objective are included. Okay. Then comes the data extraction and quality assessment. So you have to extract the data from a selected study and assess the quality to ensure the robustness of your review. So moving forward, you have to analyze and synthesize the literature. So this involves synthesizing the finding from different study, also identifying the patterns, and then drawing the conclusion. So the last phase is a reporting phase where you have to communicate your systematic literature review to the world. Okay, let the world know what you are doing. Okay, so you have to do a write-up or review the report. The report or the articles published in the journals, for example, or published as a report. Okay, so this document encapsulate your entire journey, presenting your research question, the methods, findings, and also the conclusion to the academic committee. Okay, so first we look at the formulating a research question. So when you formulate the research question, it has to be clear, well-defined question. Okay, because as I said, this is the first crucial step in your research. So you have to know what are the specific questions you want to address. Okay. There are two types of question you can ask. Okay, either descriptive or exploratory or explanatory. Okay, so descriptive questions seek to provide a comprehensive understanding of a phenomena or topic. It will answer the question like what, who, where, and when question. Okay. For instance, the example I give you here, what are the factors contributing to the network survivability in sensors? So this is my field, so I take out from my research. So you can create your own research question based on the factors here. So like this question aims to identify and describe the factors that influence the sensor network's survivability. Okay. So next is a exploratory or explanatory question. It goes deeper into understanding on how or why behind the phenomena. So basically, it will seek to explain the relationship, the cause or the effect of the phenomena. So the example, like how does the measurement or the criteria of certain things affect the performance of the system? Okay, so like this question, it aims to explore the impact of measurement criteria or the system performance by providing the insight into the causality or the relationship. So when you're crafting the effective research question, it has to be being precise and focused, and you have to be clear about the scope of your study as well to ensure that your questions are researchable, must be specific and aligned with your research goal. Okay, so next, developing a review protocol. Okay, so a review protocol is a detailed document that specify the method to be used in systematic review. Okay, so like I said, it acts as a roadmap to ensure that the review is conducted systematically and consistently. Yeah? First, the protocol begins with the background and rationale of the study. So this section explains why the review is necessary, and you have to outline the context and the importance of the research. So next, the protocol to outline the research question or formulating the research question just now, which is this one. This research question aims to answer the research objective. Okay, so the question must provide clarity and focus to the review process. So next, the heart of the protocols lies in the search strategy. This include specifying the search term like keywords to be used and identifying the resource to be searched, such as a digital library, specific journals, or conference proceeding. Then, to ensure that the review is systematic and objectively achieved, the protocol defines the study selection criteria. Okay, these criteria are used to determine which study are included or which study that are excluded from the review. Okay, so the study selection procedure are needed to select the study that is suit with your research. So this is to ensure the consistency and the transparency in the selection process. So you have to evaluate the quality of the study as well. So you have to outline the protocol in the quality assessment checklist and the procedure that apply. Okay, so this step is to ensure that the review, considering this review, are reliable and valid for the research. So data extraction strategy outlines how information are required or obtained to ensure it is collected systematically. Then finally, you have to synthesize of extracted data. Okay, so this section explains how the collected data will be analyzed and synthesized to draw a meaningful conclusion from the review. Okay, so literature search. So this is the heart of the process just now. So I just read this famous quote by the Margaret and it all. It says that a comprehensive and reproducible literature search is the foundation of systematic review. Okay, so I would say that this, if you imagine building a house without a solid foundation, it simply wouldn't stand, right? So in the world of systematic review, this comprehensive and reproducible literature search will serve as a foundation for your research. Okay. Okay. Search relevant study. How you going to search the studies? You have to answer this list first. Which, where, what, and when. So search database or what kind of database you want to look at, whether it is manually search or automated search, whether you have to find the venues or database and the field, and what subject you are looking for, what kind of evidence or the search string you have to use, and you have to specify also the time frame, whether you want to look at the 5 years time, 10 years time, or maybe during this recent time. Okay. So where to look for the studies or articles or literature? Of course, we use a famous database, okay, like this famous journals database, Taylor Francis, Science Direct, Scopus, even Google Scholar, IEEE, and many more. Okay, so please make use of this database to find the articles or the studies. Other resources, you can also start from the list of review articles. Find from the reference list of the primary study and look at the review articles. Also from journals that is not included in the database, like IBM journals, okay, or other journals that been kept by the company, or or the grey literature like technical report or work in progress also can be part of the study. Or the conference proceeding, research register like linking or ResearchGate, and of course the internet, we use Google Scholars, Citeseer, and Agile Alliance. And also you can contact directly from a specific researcher, ask for the studies or articles. Okay, so next, search string. Okay, so search string is a important part to search the database. Okay, so how to do the search to get the articles or the studies? First, you have to list the keywords mentioned in the articles or the keywords list in your research question. Okay, and then you look for the synonym or alternative word, okay, from the keyword just now. And then from there, after you get the keywords and the synonym, use a boolean or to incorporate these two keywords and the synonym. And also you can use and to link major terms in the keywords. For example, okay, when you use a synonym and the keywords and also the boolean or an and, so this is example of the key search or keywords or search string you're going to look in the database. So this one we call it a complete search string. Yeah. Sometimes when you search through this complete search string, you may have a limited number of research or number of studies. If you have limited number of studies, then it is suggested that you use much simpler string. Okay, break it down. Like for this one, I just use lightweight and block cipher or block cipher. Okay, so sometimes simple search string might have just been effective to get good papers and more papers. Okay, but if you are satisfied with the complete search string, then you can use this complete search string to look for the papers or articles. Okay, so once you search using the search string, so now it's time for you to select the relevant literature. Okay, so in this phase, basically you need to find the primary study that you need to be assessed for the actual data or the actual literature. So you have to set the criteria for inclusion or exclusion criteria. And this inclusion and exclusion criteria should be based on your research question. And then you have to do skimming through this literature where this is involve a multi-stages process. Okay, for example, this is example from my previous literature review, systematic literature review. Initially, when I first screen or search through the keyword, I got 472 articles. Then, after screening through with inclusion and exclusion criteria, it's down from 470 to 355 articles. Then you can skimming through again based on quality assessment, and it can be down lower up to based on this figure, I have 101 articles to assess to be included in the analysis. Okay, so this process takes a few search as well. If you are not satisfied with the articles or study that you search or that you collected, or then you have to do some adjusting the keywords, okay, and redo again the process. Okay, this is an example of inclusion and exclusion criteria. Okay, so first you have to identify the criteria of the studies or the papers or articles just now. Yeah, first, like, you can put type of articles, what kind of database, articles you want, whether you want journals and conference, or maybe you just want journal, or maybe you want journals and conference and also books. So it depends on your study. Okay. As for exclusion, maybe if you can avoid like PowerPoint, thesis or pattern. Okay, so you have to discard from the list. The language as well, you have to specify. Normally we use English, but if your study require like Chinese, Russian or Japanese or any other non-language, then you can specify as well. What are your domain? Okay, domain of your research. Which domain of your research you want to study? For example, in my case, I'm looking at the cryptographic algorithm. So other than that, like the review or attack or implementation will not be included. So I only look for the algorithm. Okay, this is cryptographic primitive is a subdomain and another subdomain that you want to focus on. Okay, so how you review this? Basically, you are going to screen through the abstract. So through the abstract, you can see whether this is the study you want to assess. Is it should be include or should be exclude? So once you have done the inclusion and exclusion, you have to do quality assessment checklist. Okay, and you have to write the criteria as well. So this is some example of the criteria. General criteria, like whether this articles is referred or not, because sometimes referred article is not reliable, and whether the objective of the research is clear, and whether the data collection is well developed or not. So from this, you have to answer yes, no, or partial. So we will take only the yes article. Normally no, we will discard, and partially we will decide later on if it's relevant we can put in, but if it's not relevant then we can discard as well. Yeah, okay. Next is analyzing selected literature. Okay, so once you're done, you have, for example, just now in my case I have 101 literature, so I need to analyze this 101 literature. So you can have two types of analysis, content analysis or thematic analysis. And also you can use software to analyze. Yeah, so for example, Atlas TI, we can analyze the literature review. You can analyze the literature review. So what the difference between content analysis and thematic analysis? Okay, so content analysis, you creating the codes or theme first. Okay, for example, like factors just now. So after that, what are the factors of a certain, for your study, and then you are going through the literature and selecting the information from the literature, and then you will assign this code on the selected information from the literature, meaning that you create the code first and assign it. For thematic analysis, you create the quotes after you're going through the literature. So from the literature, okay, or study, you select the relevant information, then you decide the themes, and then you assign it each of the literature through the theme. So the content analysis you do first, the quotes or the themes, and thematic is you're going to do it after the after that. Okay. All right. So once you analyze, then yeah, you have to do the reporting, okay, or report what you're finding, right? So basically, this is the report structure, okay, and normally in the journal also they follow this structure. So in introduction, generally we will introduce the research and state the purpose of the review and emphasize the research question or the importance of the research question. You can state the significance of the review work and how the research contributes to your body of knowledge. Then the main body, you will explain the review method, briefly describe the step that you conduct during the review process, and of course the result, okay, from the finding of the review when you synthesize it, okay. And then the discussion part, you write the implication of the review, the practice, and the recommendation, okay. And last but not least, of course, the conclusion. Okay, basically, that is about it, the process of SLR. So what can you, I mean, the summary from my 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 talk just now, okay, we can see that not all problems can be solved through systematic literature review. Okay, so you have to identify your problems, whether it can be done through systematic literature review or not, and then identify the purpose, create the research question, identify the type of literature, and develop the strategies. And the most important is selecting literature based on your criteria, and plan well the analysis, and last but not least, publish the reports or articles in the journals. Okay. So this is the guideline for you for SLR. Okay, you can also this is what I referring to before as well. You can use Kitchenham, you can use from Petit Crew, and also from this website here. Okay. And also I would like to share my other review papers apart from the three just now. So you can also search through my other papers listed here under systematic literature review. I think that's all from me. Thank you for listening. And then if I have a question to answer. Sorry for fast talking because I am against try to finish within 1 hour. I think someone raised their hands. Can I stop sharing? Hello? Hello? Anyone hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
doctor.
Yeah.
Are there any questions from the participant side?
Yeah, I think I saw someone raise their hand just now. Or no?
Dr. AZNI, can I ask the question? If
Oh, yeah, sure.
if Mr. Rashid didn't ask you, can I ask?
Yes. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, can. Assalamualaikum. For semuanya Dr. AZNI HASLIZAN, I'm Dr. Azlan.
Yes.
I just to ask you for the beginning. I'm sorry for the I mean, for not expert, for person like me, like layman, do you think how long it how frequent we can prepare SLR?
How frequent? I mean, how many research you
I
have?
mean,
So,
when I read AJ article journal,
uh-huh.
then I want to do the SLR. How long will it take? Is it 3 months or 2 months?
Oh,
Sometimes
you mean
because
how long it takes the process of
yeah,
doing the
yeah, correct.
SNR? Oh,
Yeah,
it
correct.
depends. It can take 1 month. I mean, 1 month for you to do the conducting phase. But I think the most challenging maybe the reporting. After that, how you want to conduct the discussion and the rigorous uh, the the details of the literature just now. So 3 months could be I mean good time for I mean the nice period for you to do the literature review. Okay. But that is basically full time lah. But if you are doing it every day, it can be 1 month. Okay. But you have to be very focused in that sense.
Right.
Understand?
Thank you so much. I agree with you. For the reporting is really little bit difficult. Yes, I agree with you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any other question?
Hi, yeah, can I ask one question, please?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, what do you think, like, on when to do a systematic review? I mean, like, systematic review, because there might be some systematic review going on in some other part of the world as well. So
Yes.
maybe how do I know, like, whether I should conduct a systematic review on that topic, specific topic, and in the meantime. And my other query is, so how long it would be we would have to keep in kind of a dates. I mean, like, if we are conducting a system review, like whether it is from 2010 to 2023 or like 2015 to now, or like how, the dates, the periods that we conduct. Yeah, thank you.
All right. So I answer the first question here. How do you know what kind of SLR you want to do? Something like that, right? So basically, before you start the SLR, you have to do some uh, traditional literature first. Okay, just get the idea what is the world is doing. Then from there, you can get some ideas what kind of problems going on. For example, like if you get the, let me share again my slide just now. So okay, so the purpose of study, okay, from here, when you read the papers, you have found out, for example, a few study that doing something with a different methodology. So you want to find, you feel that this methodology, why people are doing it differently. So you can start doing SLR, okay, based on this problem here. And then you find and determine from this methodology that been done by other researcher, and what is your finding from there. So basically, when you have the research you want to look at, so basically you can start already doing the systematic literature review. Just that you need to do focus what kind of literature review you want to focus on. Okay, whether you want to determine different methods by other researcher, or finding a contradictory finding by other researcher. So to look at this purpose of study here from my slide here, you have to do a traditional or narrative literature review first by just skinning through a few papers. Okay, and then get the idea what is going on from your field of study or from the your research. Okay, so the second one, the timeline. Basically, the ideal time is within 5 years. Okay, the ideal time. But sometimes the 5 years doesn't enough to show the research trend. Okay, so you probably that research is not a well developed research, or probably slow in pace in terms of their how the improvement of the research. So you can extend it up to 10 years. Okay, there are study up to 10 years. But like, for example, in my field, in the computer science, so it's very fast pace. So you can have a 5 years period. Okay, so that is the ideal of the time spent for you to look at to find the articles or the study. Okay, is it am I answer your question or?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other question?
Okay. Yes.
Okay,
I have a question, ma'am.
yes, okay, go ahead.
Uh, First of all, I introduce myself. I'm Mohammed Salim from Pakistan, and I have some questions in systematic literature review.
Okay,
So, first question: can be converted a short research paper or short research into systematic literature review? And how to conduct systematic literature review, and any condition or properties of systematic literature review?
sorry, I didn't get the third one. Any
So
condition?
first my question is uh, there can be convert a short research into the systematic literature review?
Okay. All right, I answer the first one. Yes, you for short research also it can be done. Systematic review can be done. Okay, anything that you find valuable for research can be done through systematic literature review. Okay, it's not necessarily it has to be impactful research. We don't know because right now through systematic literature review, uh, who knows after at the end of the day it is actually the impactful research. So the answer is yes. Okay. So the second one,
Okay. So what is the condition of a systematic literature review that convert to a short research into the systematic literature review?
what is the condition
Condition what?
or condition? I mean the process of systematic literature
Yes,
review.
yes, yes.
Okay, you can get from my slide here. So this is the process. Okay, the detailed process I explaining just now, that is the process. So first, you have to formulate the research question. That is the most important. Then after that, come up with a research protocol, review protocols. From there, you do the selection, relevant literature, selecting the literature, and also doing the data extraction and quality assessment and analyzing. So this is the process. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Any other question?
Yeah, sorry, ma'am. One more query. So I just forgot to mention I'm Promise from Nepal.
Okay.
So one more query is, so I guess in the phase of doing the SLR, we might need to exclude sometime during the filter, or what you say, like we exclude the papers if we
Yes.
don't find the full papers.
Yeah.
So in terms of let's say low and middle income countries, we don't have access to much of the papers sometimes. So we might be excluding lots of important papers at the same time. So what do you think, like, even if we don't have access to the full papers, are there any ways that we get that papers, or like I know like there are few ways that you get it in unethical way. So should we include that paper in the review or not?
Okay. All right. First of all, I would like to ask whether your research is it within your country or is it globally global research? So if it's focusing on your country, yes, you can include that. Probably that articles or studies you find is suitable because it involves within your area. Okay, so you can include it. But if it is for global, I mean everybody referring to, so it is best to find a ways how to get the research paper that is well recognized of database, because that database is been reviewed, and we know it is reliable research. So that is the best, I would say. But if the study within the scope of your country, it is also can be used part of the research, part of the articles or literature for your systematic literature review. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. I think it's already 6:30. I mean here, Malaysian time. Shall we have?
I hope there is no more questions from the participant side. We'll wind up the session. Thank you, Doctor. That was a
Okay.
thoughtful.
All right, welcome. Thank you everyone for listening to my talk today. Hope you have some insightful knowledge about SLR. So feel free to email me, okay, if you have any more question or if you want to ask me further about the SLR. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so
Thank you,
much. Thank
Doctor.
you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you
Thank you,
very
Doctor.
much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doc.
Participants will
Thank
receive
you,
your
Doctor.
certificate and the presentation document within 7 to 10 working days.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you for joining.